What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm C.
I'm P.
And today we're reacting to another Burr.
How you know the N-word is coming. This should be very funny. I think he's going to talk about like how certain people say the N-word and certain people can't say the N-word. Certain people...
Well, obviously, it's the N-word. Obviously, that's what it'd be about.
How certain people react.
Yeah.
You know, those wannabe white people
maybe
that say it all the time.
Maybe he's going to talk about...
People I used to go to school with.
Maybe you're going to... Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
They say them in private?
No, they'd be saying it in school. It'd be a bunch of white kids pretending to be gangsters, saying the N-word like they were cool. Like, you know, with their saggy pants and everything, too. They have their pants low.
Yeah, your school mostly white, right?
Yes, you can cut on your hands the black people and Spanish people.
Probably, that's why probably they were saying it.
And it was like...
that's probably why they were saying it.
middle class, but like a little bit on the higher side. So I was like the poorest person in my school.
Ah, you can't say that. You know
I was
everybody
one
there.
of the...
Yeah, let's do it.
I was at least in the top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Yeah, let's begin. Yeah, we did an intro already. Yeah, I forgot.
It's nice to be back here down in the South, man. I had a real weird experience last time I came down here. I was in Nashville, right? Sort of an awkward social situation, right? I'm sitting at this bar. There's this white dude sitting like 2 stools away. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And that Terrell Owens story was in like sports news. So I try to make conversation. I'm like, man, look at this guy. This guy just signed a $40 million contract. He's already bitching, man. How much money do you need to make? And the dude looks at me. He's like, you know what I say? And then he looked over his shoulder, which I now know is the telltale sign that the N-word is coming, and it's coming hard. Oh yeah, it's not gonna be pronounced with the A, it's gonna be with the R, and he hit the R, he like stuck the landing. There was like a dismount, Klan members high-fiving in the background, like doing the wave. Just out of nowhere, so now immediately I'm looking over my shoulder like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm waiting for like this hail of black fists to come raining down on top of me. I hate when people do stuff like that. That dude made me part of like a potential ass kicking that I had nothing to do with. You don't do shit like that. He just had that word, hot potato, just threw it in my lap. Like, trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive into it. That dude was one of the angriest people I ever met. I should have known that word was coming, because he was just watching Terrell, right? Anytime I would bring up, look at man, that guy's talking trash, he would just like flip out. He won't shut up! You know those people get like so mad they're not even looking at you? Their eyes are up, you just shut up and play the game! You know what's funny? I don't even like Terrell, but now I love the guy. Because every time I see him talking trash, I know this idiot in Nashville is just losing his mind, like kicking over his kitchen TV. Shut the fuck up! I like violence, man. I am. Not like when it happens to me or if I see it live. I like watching it on TV, you know? Watching people, you know, get attacked by animals. Just get blasted in the face or something, you know? Like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know my favorite, like, moment of, like, the last year was in sports? That Detroit Piston, Indiana Pacer bench clearing brawl. Wasn't that great? That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was so confused when I watched ESPN that day. They were like, that was absolutely disgraceful. Basketball fans, they just must be... I'm sitting there looking like, I'm a basketball fan. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed watching out-of-shape civilians get the shit kicked out of them by professional athletes. It was fascinating. And I think as sports fans, we kind of had it coming, right? Because how many times you go into a game, right? You got a little too drunk, you started screaming at some dude on the field who could clearly kick the shit out of you, right?
Right.
If you saw him in the parking lot, you'd be like, hey, can you sign my stamp collection? I think you're awesome. You get in the game, you're all drunk. You're like, you suck, buddy. You're a piece of shit. And they're always calling him up. Come on up here. No, come on up here. Well, they came up there. They didn't. They kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once. Like, I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down, you don't just stand there like you're watching a movie like, wow, it's coming right at me.
It's 3D.
Must be in 3D or something. That was a 5'6", 110-pound white dude, had an angry 6'10" black dude running right at him. That had to have been in his top 3 nightmares all time. Right behind getting his dick cut off and being lit on fire. And he just stood there. He's like trying to explain himself. Well, I still have the liquid in my cup. There's no way I could have. He's an idiot.
Oh my god.
That was hilarious. I'm the same way though. I kind of enjoy violence. I find it very entertaining.
I think a lot.
Or funny at least, you know, when you see somebody
most
get
people
hurt.
do. Like when it's not happening to them, it's that they enjoy it.
Uh-huh.
You know?
No, that's definitely the case. When something happens to you, you're not gonna enjoy
Exactly.
it. You think you're gonna enjoy it? No.
And
But
without
when something happens to somebody and you see, you're like, ah!
somebody fall, somebody laugh.
Yeah. And then you trip and fall. You're like, shut up. Shut up.
That story you told about the one testing about the basketball game. I don't remember it. I don't think I saw that one. But he said that he punched the wrong guy, like the basketball player. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that guy got a fat paycheck though. Got a fat like settlement or whatever.
It wasn't even me, man.
Exactly, like
I was just sitting here doing nothing.
I'm pretty sure you
Yeah, I didn't move, and I just sat there with a drink in my hand, like, yeah, he's coming at me. No, he's gonna dodge me and go to the person next to me. It's all
Wait, no,
right.
he's coming at me. Wait.
What? Maybe I drank too much. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he sued.
But like,
Who wouldn't sue though? Like, come on.
But I had like major flashbacks. We was talking about the guy like who was about to say the N-word. See, like in my high school, I don't know if it was because like we had such small amount of black people. Either they didn't care or they didn't act like they cared. But like they would just let their white friends say that shit. And it was always my N-word, my this, and they would be like doing their little handshakes and walking around with their pants around their ankles, thinking they were from the hood. Meanwhile, if they were really in the hood, they'd probably die in Peter pants.
I mean, think about it. Your school was like in a white neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. So like I'm guessing the black people that went there grew up in that white neighborhood, so they won't really grow up like in a black neighborhood where
Yeah, they either didn't care or they acted like they didn't care because all they had were white people to be friends with. You know what I mean? One night I was out with my sister, Michael's sister, my other sister, and we were, I forget what we were doing, but we were in her car, and she said, I, like you, and grew up in this neighborhood, used to hearing that word being said and nothing being done about it, thinking it was all fine and good. I hang out with some of my friends up in Amityville, and anybody from New York knows Amityville is one of our hood places in Long Island, So, quotes. But she was hanging out with a group of people. She got knocked the fuck out.
Who?
My sister.
She did?
By saying that word. She said it in a fun, chillax kind of way. Didn't say it with the R. Said it with the A. But still, this girl came up to her and went, pow! That was it. She never said it again.
And like I was saying, if you, like, the black people who grew up in that one neighborhood, like, if you grew up there too, right, and you are black people, you're saying it. But you gotta realize the black people you're saying it with grow up, like, around you, Either they're your friends or, like, they grow up in, like,
you have to know your audience.
Exactly. They grow up in an environment where they said it and now it happens. So white people think they can just say it anywhere. And that's really dangerous. It's
very dangerous.
Exactly.
Yeah, so moral of the story is I don't really say that word.
No.
And like later on in my life, I hung out with a girl who was white but her family was very mixed. Like there was some Spanish people, some black. So she says it because
she's mixed.
She's from a no. She's not. She has 3 regular siblings that are her blood, and then the rest are all adopted, and they're all from different races and backgrounds.
Okay.
So, so what was I trying to say? Oh, and another friend of ours would hang out with her, and she would say, "I don't feel comfortable saying that word, so I say my ninja."
All right, guys.
What are your feels about the N word?
Burr, funny as always, like we always say. Like,
comment, subscribe.
See you next time.